What in the fuck did we see last night on NXT? Velveteen Dream beats Johnny Gargano for the North American Championship. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to NXT February 20th, 2019 review. I didn't do this review last night because I went ahead and I actually watched the show a bit late, around 9:30, 10 o'clock. I didn't feel in the mood to go ahead and do this review, especially after what I saw last night, seeing Johnny Gargano lose the North American Championship. Why in the hell is Johnny Gargano losing the North American Championship? What was the point of him winning the title in the first place? I'll tell you why. Johnny Gargano and the Tommaso Ciampa story is over. This is bullshit. And this is coming from Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Vince McMahon is purposely sabotaging these stars. Now, Ricochet, on the other hand, I can understand why he was on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. He made a great, both shows he had a great appearance. He was very good. And I understand him being on Raw or SmackDown would have made sense, because he has nothing going for himself, as well as Aleister Black. He's another one. They both really don't have a lot going for them in NXT right now. They got all the tools in the world to succeed in being on the main roster. Ricochet has a little bit more work to do on his mic skills, but other than that, he is pretty well off on his own on the main roster. So is Aleister Black. But Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, I'm sorry to tell you, don't belong on the main roster right now. And not because I don't believe they can make it on the main roster. They have a great story that's being told on NXT. They have a great thing going, and now that's been totally flushed down the toilet. I have nothing against Velveteen Dream. I think he's a great asset to WWE and the NXT roster. I think it's great that he won the North American Championship. I was the first person to say he belongs next in line as a North American champion. I went on to say this when I was talking about my prediction towards the storyline between Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano for their final showdown one-on-one at NXT TakeOver during the WrestleMania weekend. I really was all for the idea of a Triple Crown championship matchup, first time ever in NXT history. That would have been great. Now, the only person that has that opportunity is Johnny Gargano, instead of both of them having an opportunity at being a Triple Crown champion. This is by far the worst situation that could ever happen to the NXT brand right now. The match was great. I'm not going to deny that either. The Velveteen Dream winning is not bad either. But it's just the timing of Velveteen Dream being the North American champion. I think that would have been perfect once Johnny Gargano dropped the title, vacated the North American Championship because he only wanted to defend one championship instead of two at the same time, and go on about his business as the world champion. And that's it. That would have been a great setup. Velveteen Dream goes through a tournament just like he did to get the opportunity for the North American Championship in the first place. See where I'm going with this? Everything they did was too soon. They should have done a tournament leading towards the new champion for the vacated North American Championship after WrestleMania weekend, not before. And instead, he was crowned the North American champion before the fucking WrestleMania weekend. No. Incorrect way of doing it. All it really needed was a special moment for Johnny Gargano. Velveteen Dream, on the other hand, would have had his moment being the North American champion after WrestleMania. So that's how I feel on this situation. But that it's done, it's over with. It's already over. The whole thing is done and over with. How they go about this storyline at this point, I don't know. I can't give you guys any valid, great intuition on how I would set this up now. What I had set up for you guys with a Triple Crown opportunity, either Johnny Gargano or Tommaso Ciampa, being the first in history an NXT to do that, it's now fucking flushed down the toilet. Absolute garbage. Plain and simple. The match itself, I'm not going to deny it. It was a great matchup. It was fun to watch. I enjoyed the action. It belonged on an NXT TakeOver event. So yes, I was very happy watching this match. I just did not like the outcome of the match. Let's see here. The opener with Aleister Black and Roderick Strong. Awesome opportunity for Roderick Strong to have a singles one-on-one matchup with a big name like Aleister Black on the NXT brand. And he held his own. He did a very good job against Aleister Black. Fortunately, he lost the match to Aleister Black, but then later on, the rest of the crew came down to help him. And Ricochet came about to help Aleister Black to return the favor, what Aleister Black did the week before. So, with all that withstanding, I mean, hey, it is what it is. It was a great matchup. We had two other things promoted during the show. We have the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic tournament coming up for leading up to the TakeOver event during WrestleMania weekend to determine who's going to be the number one contender to face the War Raiders for their tag team titles. And the other thing is Bianca Belair making her promo video about how she is not going to surrender her opportunity or quit trying to go after the Women's Championship in the NXT division. So she basically told Kairi Sane and Oi Shirai that, hey, you think you're next in line and it ain't happening. I'm still going after that title because I still feel that I'm undefeated. And that was pretty much the whole gist of that. The other thing was Mia Kim versus Io Shea, whatever her name was. She has a fan. She's a heavy-set girl, but she's pretty good in the ring. That matchup was alright, but I didn't really care for it all that much. The show overall, I was very depressed with. And I did see an article on NoDQ.com that NoDQ posted from Wrestling Votes about Vince McMahon and his reason why he put those guys on the main roster. And I think that is a very good topic for me to talk about with you guys over this weekend for Random Wrestling Talk episode number 4. This is going to be a very, very big, heavy topic I'm going to talk about with you guys because this is absolute, complete, utter garbage. What a waste of time. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to talk about it here, and I'm also going to talk about it at Random Wrestling Talk. And some other topics on the behind-the-scenes wrestling media rumors and whatever. I have to say this. The topic that was brought up that I read from Wrestling Votes off of NoDQ.com, they mentioned that Vince McMahon had Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Ricochet, and Aleister Black headline, or not headline, but be on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown to prove to Triple H that the NXT guys he has will not move a needle for crowd reaction. I gotta get this corrected in my head. Like, am I crazy? Am I deaf? Do I hear things? Am I losing my mind? But don't we usually hear a lot of reaction from the crowd when these four guys come out and perform in front of a live audience? I mean, let's be real. Don't we hear a crowd reaction? I know I do. I hear it all the time when they come out on an NXT show. But for some strange reason, Monday Night Raw, which I actually watched for the 2 hours, 9 to 11, old school way, the way that it used to be run from 9 to 11 every single night on a Monday night. I watched this event this past Monday, and I have to admit to you guys about one thing. Not also did the NXT guys get no crowd reaction, but nobody, and I mean nobody in Louisiana gave one single performer a fucking crowd reaction except for Elias, and that was because he was shitting on the crowd. Other than that, there was not a peep coming out of that crowd. Now I gotta ask you guys a serious question. If you're going ahead and you're paying $60, $70, $80 a pop per ticket, and God knows, if you have kids, maybe 2 or 3 kids you bring along with you, or yourself and your son and your daughter or whatever, and you gotta pay 60 to 80 bucks a ticket, and you're just gonna sit there on your fucking ass and not raise your voice, make your voice be heard by the WWE officials or the people that are presenting this garbage to you? I mean, literally, nobody was walking out of the event. Everybody was watching Raw live and in person. And not one person was leaving their seat, but yet they wouldn't make a fucking peep. They didn't cheer, they didn't boo, they didn't do anything. Now someone please tell me just what in the hell was what I was watching Monday night. Because I know one thing. There was nobody, and I mean nobody, voicing their opinion. Because they paid for their ticket. They have a right to say whatever the fuck they want as long as it's not, offensive or, inappropriate to say in front of children because I know children are there. But still, you have a right to voice your opinion on what you think. Boo, cheer, scream, make some fucking noise. You paid your ticket. You have a right to do something. You have a right to take over the fucking show if it sucks. And let me tell you something, that show fucking sucked. And I don't understand these fucking crowds either. Louisiana doesn't get not too many opportunities, especially Lafayette, get opportunities to see this shit live and in person. I went to see a SmackDown live show, not the television show, but in a live show on December 29th, just before New Year's Day. And I swear to you, that crowd was loud as fuck. Not one person didn't make some noise. Every person in that crowd was making a noise. They were voicing their opinion. They were booing the guy they didn't like. They were cheering for the guy they did like. They were making some kind of noise and making chants and making and actually using and taking advantage of what they paid for. They paid for their ass in the seat. That means you have a right to voice your opinion if you don't like what you're seeing. You paid for that. And you say nothing? You don't say this show sucks? This show's boring? Nothing? Want a refund? Anything? I mean, what happened to the crowd from 2014 Royal Rumble? That crowd was great. That crowd is what made the Royal Rumble of 2014 fucking famous for what it was. Despite the fact Daniel Bryan didn't win the Royal Rumble. Despite the fact that we had to see John Cena, Randy Orton for the 50 millionth time for the World Heavyweight title. Despite all those things, that crowd is what made the Royal Rumble of 2014 great. Regardless of what happened during or after the show went off the air, it didn't matter because that crowd made it important. They voiced that this was a negative show. That's what makes the fucking Royal Rumble of 2014 great. Because us, the people that paid our hard-earned money to go sit there and watch that shit for that crappy show that they presented it to us, they voiced their opinions. Now, why aren't the rest of these fuckers who paid their ticket voicing their opinion as well? Makes no sense to me. I think it's garbage. I think it's shitty. And I think it's a waste of your fucking money if you're not going to voice your opinion. You paid a lot of money to go see that event. Voice your fucking opinion. Make your voice be heard. Because damn, man, if you're going to pay all that fucking money, you better have the freedom of speech to say what the fuck you want there. As long as you're not being offensive to other, with children being around. But still, have a fucking voice and state what you really feel about the damn product. And if what you're being presented is garbage, say what it is. It's garbage. That's it. Plain and simple. Anyway, leave your comments and opinions down below. Hit the like button if you liked the video. And hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to this channel. And have a great night, guys. Bye.